much, but we're gonna see how Zone would play out this Cassiopeia, because I haven't seen a lot of pros use her just yet.
Yeah.
But I guess this should be an exciting surprise for us in this game.
Yeah. Also, what I was thinking when they picked in that Renekton and then the Maokai with the Cassiopeia, I mean, Cassiopeia has one weakness. She's not mobile. I mean, that's one of her weaknesses I've seen. I mean, if she's in like a wrong position, she could get bursted down immediately.
Yeah.
And even though, I mean, you could try to use her ultimate, but then if players can react fast enough, they can dodge it, but just looking away, and then you just get slow, and then you can turn it back and then burst her down. But with the Renekton and then the Maokai, you have this
really tanky front line.
Yeah, thank you. Frontline tanky champions that will soak up the damage and then let Cassiopeia do her thing, and then that's about it. As for Wargods, what they were picking go, it was the Jarvan, it was the Sivir, so the standard lockup combination, and then just pick them off and then separate them, and that's what Wargods' composition was. What I was thinking is about.
Yeah. I mean, Jarvan and Sivir, very painful level 1 to 3. We've seen those cheese level 2 Jarvan ganks before.
Yes,
and
the red buff start.
Yeah, and Sivir definitely loves to engage early on in the game because of that advantage with her combo, her Q, and her W. So we could see some possible very early engages in this game. But yeah, like we said, they are just going to go over the same picks and bans, but we're going to have to wait and see how Hack will adjust if he can't go for that unorthodox Maokai jungle. Yeah, so
they might go in again for another tanky jungler, but we'll see. Also, Elise has been buffed.
Yeah,
her Neurotoxin and Venomous Bite have been given a little bit more oomph.
Yeah,
that's why
slightly more painful now. Yeah,
yes, very true. Also, Blood Moon Elise has been released.
Yes,
finally.
I mean, personally, I was waiting for that. Yeah, so definitely exciting to see. Maybe, just maybe, Hack might bring that one out. We could see a possible one.
Ipon pa more para sa akin para mabili yung yung skin na yun. Also, just a little trivia for you guys. I believe Blood Moon Elise doesn't have yung mask niya like the other Blood Moon skins.
It's
but
like
kasi yung yung lore kasi niya is like she's a what's the terminology? It's like a demon from the Japanese lore that she turns into a beautiful woman to lure in those unsuspecting prey, and then turns into a big spider when she needs to devour them.
Interesting. So they really incorporated her character into the Japanese culture. That's really interesting.
Kagaya ng mga ng mga other Blood Moon skins. Same with Japanese lore. I haven't read all of them just yet, but if you guys are interested, I'll keep it posted. Yes.
Yeah. Again, go over to the PGS Rift. We might bring it up there. Oh, okay. Fiddlesticks.
This might actually be a I believe this is a jungle Fiddlesticks.
Yeah. I mean, he was not so popular pre 5.1 just because, actually, ever since preseason began, I think Fiddlesticks was not such a popular pick, especially with the rise of junglers that could so easily counter jungle you. Champs like Lee Sin and Jarvan, definitely scary if you interrupt the Fiddlesticks in the jungle, but now, could be interesting.
Also, Fiddlesticks is a very strong jungler, but he is easily counter jungled.
Yeah.
That's one of his weakness.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not seeing the PH teams do this just yet, but I believe this is like a trend in the, let's say in the other countries. Well, I'm not sure if you've seen this. There's like this Sion top lane and then Lee Sin jungle or interchangeable, and then they'll do an early level 1, level 2 dragon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, very. I mean, before you could like do that with the older dragon, but you'd have to like what's the term for it? Control the aggro of the dragon. But right now, you just have to put the aggro on the Sion and then spam the Lee Sin's safeguard.
Oh, okay.
And then when Sion dies, the dragon's has this amount of HP, and then activate the passive of Sion, and then he just hits on the dragon, and then you smite it on, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos of people doing that. I think it was a solo Sion, but he would be around level 3 or 4.
Yeah,
and abusing that passive, they'd be able to get the dragon so early on in the game. I've seen that, definitely.
Yeah, so if you guys want to try something different, go in for that top lane Sion, level 1 with a jungle Lee Sin, or I'm not sure, because jungle Lee Sin's like the better way to comfort this, because he does have his safeguard for that additional shield and lifesteal.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for
if you're into those cheese picks, then maybe it's something you can try.
Very true. Alright, so now back to the ban and pick phase. to recap. So
Alright,
go for it.
For J2 Esports Betrayal, we've got Ruin in the top lane as Renekton, Hack in the jungle adjusting with the Fiddlesticks, we've got Zone in the mid lane with the Cassiopeia, Sync and Link in the bottom lane with the Corki and the Nami. Meanwhile,
yes, for Gamex.Wargods, we do have JLC in the top lane rumble, skill with our Jarvan jungler, Achi with our Azir mid lane again.
yeah.
Nice. I don't want to see an Azir mid lane again. BYY with our Sivir ADR and Stronger with the support Blitzcrank. So again, guys, that GPL game before, I was really impressed with that.
Yeah.
But also J2 Esports bringing out the unorthodox picks in not unorthodox but newer picks, and then older picks that we haven't seen, like the jungle Fiddlesticks, the new and improved Renekton top lane, the new and improved Cassiopeia, the not so popular right now in the meta Corki. Yeah, so that's about it.
I mean J2 is bringing the new kids on the block, are bringing out new champions as
on
well.
The block.
Yeah, so I guess this should be really interesting for us. So again, these are the team compositions. Again, this is Pro Gaming Series 2015 Spring Season Week 7. And again, this is the battle between J2 and Wargods. So looking at the general impression these team compositions are giving us, again, Asarai, what can you say about how these teams are going to go about in the game? Like, what could be their general strategy for us?
So like what I've said before, J2 Esports Betrayal does have that, like I've said, immobile damage dealers like with the Cassiopeia, but now with the Renekton they'll be able to do like a tanky frontliner, but of course without the Maokai they accompanied it with the jungle Fiddlesticks, which actually does a little bit the same. It disrupts with when you go in with that Crow Storm, people will just try to get away from it, and then in that confusion, let's say Zone can try to go in with the Cassiopeia burst damage, and then there's of course Sync with that Corki for the backline damage. The Phosphorus Bomb really hurts, the rockets, and then there's Nami for the bubble picks and the Tidal Wave disengage. As for Wargods, they have a lot, and I mean a lot of AoE damage with Achi on that Azir, with JLC on that Rumble. And of course VYY with the Sivir. What they're gonna do now is try to use Stronger for those picks again with the hooks, or go in with scale for the engage, try to lock someone up, follow up with Rumble's ultimate, the equalizer, and then if things go wrong, they could use that ultimate from the Azir to spread away the enemy opponents that are trying to get in on a better position for themselves. And while that's happening, of course they do have a little bit of safety, like I said, with the Azir's ultimate, and then there's BYY in the backline showing those chakrams, throwing those bouncing blades, using that spell shield to survive, and of course the ultimate gives them that repositioning tool that they need to either chase or, like I've said, reposition in the team fights. So we'll see what happens when the game actually starts.
Right, so again, these are the general team compositions. We are looking at the battle between J2 and Wargods. So looking at the team compositions though, which one would you favor?
Level 1 fight or like
in general?
In general. So level 1 fight, it's whoever gets the bubble or the hook first.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. All right. So before we do go into the game, we'll be back after a short break, guys.
This January on Animax, Hunter x Hunter. All new episodes. Witness the final chapter of the epic saga. Little battlers experience wars. The battle for the future begins now. Strike the blood when forbidden love is bound by fate. Inari Con. Is magic the formula for love? All this January on Animax.
Alright, so we just again, we're back for a Pro Gaming Series. That was just a short break with the ad from Animax. So lots of new stuff coming out there if you guys are interested. And we will be moving over to the Summoner's Rift in a while. So anyway, going through with what we were talking about earlier. So looking at the general team composition, I was asking Asarai, generally, which team would you favor in terms of their team composition?
Alright, like I've said before, level 1, it's whoever gets that beautiful pick first. For Wargods, it's up to Stronger to get in that hook, but then it's for Link to get in those bubbles. So as the game progresses, I'm going to try and see whichever of these teams, let's just say for J2 Esports, they're not the initiating type of team unless they could get in a bubble or a, let's say, a stun. But
Yeah.
then you have to be in like point blank range to do so. And then after for War Gods, they do have those long range engage tools, wherein of course the Blitzcrank hook that has a long range. There's the it's not actually engage tool, but you can opt to like follow up with it with the equalizer, and then follow up with the cataclysm into cataclysm. And then of course there's Ochi with his sand soldiers. They do slows, so that's a soft CC that they could use to try and follow up every single burst damage that they have. So we'll actually see, because I'm not really sure what's gonna happen as the game progresses, because there's a lot of picks that, let's just say, are 4 team fights.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean,
I'm actually excited to see Zone and Hack pull off a sort of Cassiopeia ult Crow Storm combo, because I could imagine that happening. She could possibly set up, freeze all of them, and then the Crow Storm comes in, all the ults start coming out. I could imagine that's really exciting.
Yeah, very true.
But that could also depend on whether or not Wargods gives them the chance, because like you said, they've got this extremely AoE
heavy
focused team fight. Like they've got the Cataclysm, Equalizer, blah blah blah. It's just a really strong team fight composition. So I guess, like you said, it really depends on how these teams mechanically manage their team fights. So really interesting to see how these teams will play out this 5.1 patch.
Yes.
So we have entered the Summoner's Rift. We're just gonna wait for the teams to fix their respective settings just to make sure nothing goes wrong. You don't want those wrong hotkeys going out, like accidentally activating a Zonya's or something like that. We don't want those happening. So they're just
very true.
Alright, there it is. So we're going to resume the game. Again, this is Pro Gaming Series 2015 Spring Season Week 7. The battle between the veterans and the new kids on the block. J2 Esports Betrayal, one of the newer teams to enter the Pro Gaming Series, and Wargods, definitely one of the veterans of the Philippine esports scene. So we will see how these teams will play it out. Will we see any early hooks or bubbles?
Yes, also look at that.
There are the base gates.
Yes, there they are. The oh-so new 5.1 base gates. So what Riot thought about this is that they want the, let's say, the losing team, when they're getting pushed in, to have another way to engage or to get away from the fights. You can see right now that there is actually an invade coming in from Wargods.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their team right now, it's really very common for compositions that have a Blitzcrank to, you know, go for usually an invade, and we see Blitzcrank just taunting them over at their blue buff. But it doesn't seem like J2 wants to fight this one. They know that the Blitzcrank hook is deadly, so it seems like... Oh, actually, J2 is backing out, so they might not go for the invade. Just placing that early ward. Giving them some love before they go back to their jungle. Doesn't seem like we're going to see a level 1 fight. Things looking pretty standard. Don't know if they're going to pull off a lane swap here. I mean, looking at a Corki against a Sivir, do you think there's any big disadvantage for either one?
In my opinion, there's not a lot of disadvantages unless you get in that, like I've said, the early picks coming in from either the Nami or the Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
But other than that, a normal laning phase would actually be okay for either two, because they have the long range poke, they have the damage, and then it's not beneficial for either of the top lanes to go for a 2v1 just because you really want this top lanes to get going early on. But look at this, an invade.
Oh yeah, so actually J2 did decide to go back to the blue buff. It seems like they left the ward and then tricked them that they were going to go back. We might see an early fight here. Will any early hooks go out? They actually forced the flash from Hack there. Definitely scared of that early hook coming in from Stronger. So let's see who this blue buff goes to. The smite and the steal goes to Skill. So that was a lot of time put onto the blue buff, and that was going to go over to Skill. So definitely an advantage for Wargods this early on in the game.
Getting that blue buff away from a Fiddlestick support who thrives on spamming that drain will... Oh, and they go in for a lane swap.
Ooh. Oh, and it seems like there's going to be an early engage. Will there be a hook? Oh, so close. But there's not going to be an early engage here.
So it was a lane swap.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that Sivir has a slight advantage level 1 to 3. That's probably why they're scared of the Corki. But yes, they do go for a lane swap here. It's going to be a Rumble versus Corki and Nami, and then a Renekton, I believe. Ooh, wow, Oshigiri getting a lot of damage. Like we said, the Cassiopeia early level damage is just really painful right now.
The spam. It's not the good kind of spam where you eat it, you know, that's the in the can. It's the spam of the twin fangs that are really hurting right now.
Yeah.
These are not healthy to eat. These are not delicious.
Not the kind you want to eat.
Yes.
The kind you want to stay away from. It's
Yes.
poisonous. Definitely not the kind of early.
Puns are real.
Yes.
Ooh,
Ooh,
nice
and the
hook.
early hook gonna force the dash over there from Ruin, but no summoner spells just burned just yet. So it's gonna be early engage, but again on point hook from Stronger there, bringing him quite low.
Yes, very
Meanwhile,
true.
oh, another invade, I believe, coming in from Wargods onto this red buff. So a lot of focus from Wargods right now to invade onto Fiddlesticks. And like Astro I said earlier, when you have a Fiddlesticks, you should always beware of those counter jungling mechanics, especially from a Jarvan. So
Yes.
definitely a risky pick from Hack to go for the Fiddlesticks knowing that they had a Jarvan on their team.
Yes. Also, what's happening right now with Wargods is that they already know that the lane swap was initiated by J2 Esports, and
Ooh, wow! That on-point bubble coming in over from Link. Almost forced the summoner spell.
Oh
but he's
my
gonna get low. And the
gosh!
hook! The first blood is gonna go over to Wargods. That's gonna be a kill for Stronger. BYY and Stronger do get that first kill. Wow.
yes, again, like I've said, the hooks from Stronger are OP. But then, what I was talking about is that now Wargods' strategy is to use Stronger and skill to roam the jungle, because BYY is in no danger of getting ganked, because like they've said, they disabled the early game blue buff for Fiddlesticks, and then it's against a Renekton who can't, let's say, burst her down immediately. He's a bruiser, but then he has no items to bruise her down yet.
Yeah.
And then they have Sync and then Link in the top lane, so they're just there, and they're just there to farm. So they're not gonna rotate down bot or
We're
do
gonna see
anything.
an early gank here. There's
like I
three
said,
men
it goes.
in the top lane. Link gets very low. He seems like he's gonna go down. Who gets the kill? That's gonna be JLC with the kill. He gets quite low as well. The Phosphorus Bomb not enough to take him down, but it's gonna be an auto attack to finish him off. Sync gonna be forced to flash. That's gonna be the flag from Jarvan to finish him. Oh, actually, it wasn't him who finished him off. It
It's
was
a
Stronger.
punch. Yeah, punch
So,
from Stronger, man.
2 kills now from Blitzcrank, and that is gonna be a very early advantage for Wargods at 5 minutes into the game.
Yes, very true. Like I've said, they are using that Blitzcrank hook to full effect. And like I've said again, BYY is just safe in this bot lane. You can see it there that Ruin is putting a lot of damage onto him.
Ooh, yeah, wow, the stun lands onto VYY. Will he go down? Ruin really wants his kill, but wow, 1 hit left, he decides to back off.
Ooh, VYY was timing those cooldowns to great effect. Didn't waste any of his heals and flash. And what's good about that is he hasn't backed already. He has not backed yet. So he has the farm right now, and when he comes back, he has that pickaxe, he has the boots, he has the potions to stay healthy and bruise against Ruin. So
Yeah, wow, he's
nice.
really gonna hurt Ruin now in the bottom lane. I mean,
Actually, he's gonna go to the top lane right now.
ooh,
So
so they want to fight Corki then.
yeah, like you've said, there is an advantage with the Sivir against a Corki, so they want that rolling because he already has the damage output. Corki does have the shield. Oh, sorry. Sync does have the Sheen, but
yeah.
then there's the Blitzcrank hooks again. They
Yeah.
don't have the shield to counter it, but they do see. Oh, sorry. They do see it with that. Let's say deeper brush ward by Link. So
Yeah, and-
nice wording. They're coming in from the support of J2 Esports.
Yeah, and Stronger is really roaming a lot right now. It's only 6 minutes into the game, but he hasn't stayed in lane very long. He's really putting out a lot of roam and on-point hooks onto J2, and it seems like they're really afraid right now, though it seems they're really invading the jungle of Fiddlesticks, and there's not much he can do. Hack gonna try and land a smite over onto...
Oh!
Ooh, wow, it's gonna be an early gank here. Link gets very low once again. Stronger and Skill want to take him down, but that's gonna be a bubble onto him. Link is not gonna get away. There's 3 members here. It seems like it's just a matter of finishing him off, and the kill goes over to Achi.
Yeah.
4 kills for Wargods this early on in the game.
Yes, that aggressive opening coming in from Wargods is just paying off for them right now. What I can see that J2 Esports can do is ward their jungle, but Wargods is one step ahead of them. They're using counter wardings to mitigate the vision that J2 Esports might have if they ward in, or if they counter, if they defensively ward their jungle. There we go.
Yeah, and I'm
I was
feeling
lost for
really
words there.
bad for Hack right now because 2 blue buffs have been taken from him, and here's gonna be another gank from 3 members of Gamex.Wargods onto Sync. He is gonna go down. Easy kill for VYY there in the top lane.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, and another re-engage over onto Hack. That's going to be skill forcing the flash off of Hack. The on-point hook lands over onto Link. There's going to be a two-man bubble. Will he be able to escape? That's going to be some auto attacks from BYY. Will he get the kill? It's going to be a disengage.
Yeah, I didn't want to use his heal or flash to secure that kill because I think he had his Fire Sense thinking that Zone was in the vicinity to do encounter engage.
Yeah, so wow, this early game from Wargods is completely shutting down Hack at the moment. Looking at his CS, it's 19 compared to Jarvan, which is 25. And only finishing that Stalker's Blade, he's going for the mobility boots. So maybe he wants to counteract that extreme mobility coming in from Jarvan. Or maybe he wants to get his blue buff faster than he does. Not so sure. But he could go for either one. This top lane seems like it might go down early. So much damage onto the tower already at 8 minutes.
Yes, also I just want to see what the wardings coming in from JT Esports are. They do have a nice amount of wardings in the top lane that will see a little bit of the counter jungling and initiations, but still lacking in my opinion because they do have those gap closers like I've said before from Wargods with the flag and drag combo of Jarvan and then the hook of Blitzcrank.
Yeah, I mean, Stronger's hooks so on point. We saw him just miss one earlier, so that was really, so far, really on point with those skill shots. And looking at the CS though, for both AD carries, that's 50 to 76. So technically, BYY has like 1 kill already, because 20 CS would be equal to 1 kill
20
technically.
to
So
23, I believe.
yeah, so definitely ahead right now in the CS game. Meanwhile, looking at the mid lane, surprisingly, although we saw that Zone was putting so much damage onto Achi, Achi actually has an advantage in terms of CS.
What I can see right now that JT Esports can try and do is to use Zone to catch someone off guard. He does have his ultimate to counter engage, so if he does counter engage, someone, a teammate of his, must be there to follow up and then get someone after and snowball from that, I think. That's what I'm seeing that they can do. As for Wargods, just do what they're doing, man, because it's effective for them.
Yeah, such early aggressive picks, and it's really working out for them. Looking at the top laners right now, there's a small duel going down at the bottom lane from the top laners. And in terms of CS, not such a big lead, but we're gonna see in the river that there was almost gonna be a full-on engage there. Ashi being forced to use the ult. Meanwhile, Ruin and JLC still battling, and out will we see a kill down here. The equalizer actually landing onto him, and that's gonna be actually an early kill, force kill onto Hack in the jungle. Wow.
Yes, wow, and the squishiness, like I've said, Fiddlesticks isn't equipped to go against a
wow. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we're gonna have to see a clash here. The ult being procced from Wargods, and that is gonna be a kill over on. Ooh, the exhaust landing, but it's not gonna be enough. BYY is gonna take down Sync. And the another on-point hook over onto Link, being forced to use the flash, but there's gonna be an ignite, and Stronger is gonna get another kill. Zone trying to help out, but he might regret that. The ult missing completely, and he's not able to re-engage onto BYY.
Ouch! I just have to say that damage is real. Zone wasn't able to, let's say, respond fast enough for his teammates, and they just died instantly. The burst from the Sivir with the pickaxe is wow, insane.
I mean, looking at the score right now, almost 12 minutes in, and it's already around 6,000 gold ahead with 2 towers, both the mid and top outer tower, going down this early on in the game. So Wargods really showing their aggressive early game in this first game of the set.
But it's not over yet for JT Esports. They still have a small window of opportunity to go in, and whoa!
Wow, so much damage coming in from JLC onto Ruin. It seems like Skill wants to help him finish this one off. He is going to land that slow onto him. There's going to be the flag of drag, but it's going to miss because of the dash. Stun lands onto JLC. He's going to be forced to use the flash, and he is actually going to survive because they're able to take down Ruin with the help of BYY.
Yes, very true. And again, J2 Esports is just doing unnecessary aggression for themselves, and they're getting caught out here by Wargods one by one.
Yeah, it's 210 right now on the kill score, so they're really taking the lead this early on in the game.
Yes.
You saw Zone just take out that early Azir tower from his passive, and really just skills, really just totally abusing Hack right now in his own jungle. Really taking all the buffs he can.
Yes, he wasn't expecting that early game aggression in the blue buff, and then he just started declining from that. His effectiveness as a jungler started declining because he can't even get a single blue buff for himself right now. So he doesn't have the spam that he needs, and then he doesn't have the experience that those blue sentinels have because they're large minion camps, and then they give a lot of XP. And look, you can see right now that he's level 7 compared to skills level 8.
Yeah, so Hack is really definitely behind right now. And looking at the vision from Gamex.Wargods, they've got so many wards in the enemy team's jungle, and they're gonna make a pickoff onto Link here. He's getting very low. The on-point hook lands onto him. There's gonna be the tidal wave coming in from Nami. The equalizer is gonna come off, but it doesn't seem like they can do much. That is gonna be 2 kills so far for Gamex.Wargods. It seems like Gruin here wants to get some revenge, and that's gonna be some poke as well coming in from Corki. There's gonna be the Crow Storm coming in, but he's gonna go immediately down, and that is gonna be a 3-for-1 exchange, definitely in favor of Wargods.
I'm not sure why Hack tried to engage on that. He didn't have any follow-up from his members. They already backed off, so I'm really not sure what happened there. As for the engage, that was a nice pick again from Wargods, and then the counter engage for J2 Esports wasn't let's say the best of the best, but it was still good. They were using, like I've said, the spam power of Zone's Cassiopeia to great effect, and they got BYY immediately when he got that petrifying gaze onto him. So what J2 Esports need to do right now is to get those fights again for themselves, and then try to snowball some hyper carry in their team, and that's Cassiopeia. Because right now Sync isn't doing the best of the best with the Corki right now, so they need to follow him up after. But right now I think they just have to focus on getting the Cassiopeia with the damage, added up with that damage, and then just let her do her thing. But
definitely.
Yeah, right. See, now there's a gold advantage for Wargods. It's around 8,000 already. Wow.
So such a huge lead coming in from Wargods. 15 minutes into the game, they've got 3 towers, and they took the first dragon as well. So this game is definitely leaning to their side, but like Azurai said, if they get Zone going with the Cassiopeia, they can still catch up. Though so far, they just keep getting picked out. Seems like there's going to be another pick here. The fear going to come off, but the bubble will not land. Stronger wants to land another hook, and they're really just taking out so much vision. They're taking all the vision away from J2 right now.
Yeah, we'll see what you can see right there. J2 Esports are using all of those, let's say, deep wards inside their own jungle, and when this happens, you already know that you're way behind in the gold lead, way behind in the jungle pressure, and that's what's happening right now. They're losing everything, and then Wargods are just steadily gaining turret advantage, and almost
another on-point hook there.
Yes.
So Stronger just making his presence felt in all of the lanes. They're going to be pushing into this mid-inner turret, and that's going to be the 4th tower of the game from Wargods. Actually, I want to ask you, Asterai, because Wargods has gotten such a huge lead this early on in the game. Wait, I think I might have to postpone my question. There might be a hook here. The bubble landing over onto Stronger. There's going to be a pick from Skill. He lands a 3-man knockup and the Cataclysm going over onto several members there. He's going to have to disengage, but that's going to be a kill for BYY. Another kill. That's a double kill for her. The ult coming in from Zone. They're trying to take him down. That's a triple kill for BYY. Sync is alive, but it seems like GLC wants to take him down. Phosphorus into Azonia's, but he's all alone. It seems like this could be a kill for Zone here. He is going to be walking into the enemy base just because there's nowhere else for him to go. Who will the kill go to? That's going to go to Sync. But meanwhile, Wargods is going to take even more towers for themselves.
And you saw it there, man. They were just bouncing up and down.
Alright, so we're going to take a look at this replay after I walk us through this one.
Alright, you can see right there that Skill just used his combo there, knowing that J2 Esports Betrayal was there. There's the follow-up by their members over the wall, and then you can see there BY1 was able to snipe Hack there, and then he just followed up. There's Achi with the ultimate pushing away Ruin, and then poof, he became Coco Crunch.
So I actually want to point out how effective that over the wall combo was, because Jarvan jumped in and Ochi rather, was using the Azir soldiers to free hit, and they couldn't target him because he was way past the wall. So, wow, just so much damage coming off from Wargods at 18 minutes into the game. Their lead is already so huge right now. They got 5 towers. Meanwhile, J2 only has 2, and the map of J2 is just darkness right now. I mean, Nocturne would be so happy right now if he was here. So much vision coming in from Wargods at the moment.
Yes.
Yes, so Dragon
Hack with that Fiddlesticks pick wasn't right now, he is paying the price for it. But also the aggression for Wargods, you have to give it to them for getting in those, like I've said, early game aggression.
Yeah, I mean they were probably anticipating that because you picked the Fiddlesticks, prepare for the counter jungle.
Yes.
So, ooh, the Hawk just barely missing, but they are preparing for the Dragon, which will be up in around 25 seconds. The Baron also coming live pretty soon. That is JLC split pushing right now in the top lane. You're seeing he's just doing what he wants there. Really, Wargods is taking complete control of this game right now, and J2 is just trying to figure out where they are, really. Just trying to put out those wards right now.
Yes, very true. And what I'm seeing right now that J2 Esports needs to do is just to postpone this game for as long as they can, and then get it to the late game. Because we see right now that there's a 12,000 gold advantage coming in from Wargods, but as the game progresses, a gold advantage that size does tend to not matter, because if you get your core items, 2 to 3 core items, then you don't need it anymore. The gold advantage is still there, but then it's not as important as before. But whoa!
Ooh, the Equalizer landing to keep Zone from escaping. He gets very low, and that's going to be a kill for JLC. The tidal wave comes up, as well as the Cataclysm there. That's going to be a kill for Ochi. Meanwhile, Sync trying to do what he can to free hit. The Smite is going to come off. A double kill going in for Ochi. They are going to take down Sync as well. Double kill for both the carries, and that's going to be a clean 5 for 1. Definitely an advantage there for Wargods.
Yes, very true. And I was saying before that they needed to try to postpone this game, but there it is! The good game, well played from J2 Esports Betrayal!
Wow, so that first game of this best of 2 is gonna go over to Gamex.Wargods. So just a very, very aggressive game coming in from them, and I don't know, I'm speechless. That was such a dominant game coming in from Wargods.
J2 Esports did have a solid lineup for themselves, but then as the game progressed, I just realized their lineup was like going to show up, I guess, in the mid game when their damage spikes were there. But for Wargods, their team fight potential already started as the game itself started.
Yeah,
wow.
So looking at the standing right now, wow, 4-0-11 from Stronger. So really very huge impact this game from Stronger, as well as 8-1-7 coming in from BYY. So really the damage from these members is just huge. And looking at the deaths as well from J2, I mean, they really suffered the consequences of such aggressive play coming in from Wargods.
The expression of the day is wow. You saw that before, J2 Esports with Zone had a lot of damage, but then, like I've said, Cassiopeia is a sitting duck, and Wargods just went in and killed her. Right.
And not even giving her a chance to pull off some poison at least. Yeah,
the
so
wowness.
Again, this is the Pro Gaming Series 2015 Spring Season Week 7. That was the battle between J2 Esports Betrayal and Wargods. So again, Wargods, dominant performance. They took that first game to earn themselves a point so far. We're gonna see in the second game if that is gonna be a sweep for them, or will J2 show them that they've got something more up their sleeve.
Yes, because J2, as the Pro Gaming Series started, they were going in with those unorthodox picks, and man, they're like the wild card of this PGS right now. They do for those unorthodox picks, and it either pays or hurts them in the butt.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. So again, dominant performance from Wargods. We're gonna have game 2. We're gonna take a short break. Once again, I am GS Amplifier.
And I am GS Asteroid with an I.
And we'll be right back.